Very good morning, everybody. Now, I'm going to explain about the chapter number 1 for class 8. Subject is a science. So, everyone, nice to see you again in the class. And the chapter number 1, which is supposed by the NCERT, that is the first one, crop production and management. As you know that the crop production and management, it is what? It is just about the food from where we can get. Why? Because every organism need to food for their different type of a process, for their nutrition, for their respiration, excretion, digestion, as well as the different life processes for which we can get the food resources from the plants and animal. So here we can started the chapter number 1, which is crop production and management. Crop production and management. The crop production and management required to what? To first of all, how we can manage the crops. That means how we can produce the crops. What are the criteria by which we can produce the crops? And if you are talking about the crops, what does it mean? Crop is what actually? Crop is a same kind of a plants. Same kind of a plants when growing on a large scale. Remember, same kind of plants growing on a very large scale, which is called as crops. In India, the crops are grown in 2 different manners. First one is the Kharif crops and the second one is Rabi crops. The Kharif crops included the paddy, soya, groundnut, etc. The season which is started in India from July to September as known as rainy season. Why? Because in rainy season the paddy or the rice can be generated. Why? Because the rice required a lot of water. In sense of what? From these water is come. These water are come from the sources as a rain. Why? Because in July season, there is a month of July. In rainy season, there is a lot of rain happens. So there is a rich supply of the water can be adopted in our India as a rainy season. So there is a lot of water by which we can easily go through the production of crops in sense of what? Kharif crops. And what according to the Rabi crops we can say? Rabi crop is started from the October to November. That means from October or might be from November to when? It will be up to the March or May. Why? Because it requires a less amount of water and can generate or can produce a different type of crops as well. What are these crops? These crops are pea, that is a wheat and mustard, etc. This is called as Rabi crops. So here most 2 type of crops are there in. The first one is Kharif crop and second one is Rabi crops. How can we produce, how can we generate these type of crops? This include in this particular chapter, that is what? The crop production. And how they can be managed. It can be managed by different agricultural activities or different agricultural processes. What are these processes called? Or what we can say, what is the crop production? The crop production is what? How the production of crops may take place. These production of crops may take place by the different agricultural activities or different agricultural processes. So, guys, देखिए ये पहला दिन है और पहली वीडियो मैं आपको अपलोड कर रहा हूँ, शेयर कर रहा हूँ, जिसमें पहला दिया गया है चैप्टर नंबर 1 क्रॉप प्रोडक्शन एंड मैनेजमेंट। और इसके थ्रू हम चैप्टर को इजिली स्टेप बाय स्टेप हम समझते जाएंगे। तो सबसे पहले हम देखेंगे चैप्टर नंबर 1 क्रॉप प्रोडक्शन एंड मैनेजमेंट में हमारा दो तरह का है, पहला है क्रॉप प्रोडक्शन एंड दूसरा है इसके मैनेजमेंट। तो ये क्रॉप प्रोडक्शन होते कैसे हैं और इसका मैनेजमेंट कैसे किया जाता है, इसको समझने के लिए हम क्या करेंगे, सबसे पहले समझेंगे कि क्रॉप प्रोडक्शन क्या है, जिसमें हम क्रॉप्स को क्या करें, प्रोड्यूस कर सके। तो क्रॉप प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है किस फॉर्म में, डिफरेंट फॉर्म में, यानी 2 टाइप ऑफ क्रॉप्स दैट कैन हैव देयर फर्टिलिटी रेट, देयर ग्रोथ, they can be protect from the enemies, or how much they require the nutrient, how they can be protected from the different type of animals like insects, or might be some other insects, or some are the pest. So how can we save, how can we protect from these, and where it can be stored, how can it be stored, how they can be cultivated. These are the different forms we can study separately, step by step. So in that cases, here is crop production takes place by the agricultural practices. What are these agricultural practices are? Agricultural practices are what? How we can prepare the soil. After preparing the soil, how we can use the seeds that can have to generate and had to produce, and how it can be used as a manure and a fertilizer. Then after irrigation, there is some weeding criteria takes place, and after weeding they have to save or protect from the insects or the pests or maybe the different other enemies. So then after maturation, there is a process takes place called as how we can cut it, that means cultivation. Cultivation takes place. After the cultivation, there is a storing, how we can store it. And the first in which it is called as agricultural practices, in the first stage called as preparation of soil. What it is? Preparation of soil. How can we prepare the soil? Preparation of soil means what? Here is a different climate or the climates found in our surrounding in a different season or region. So regarding to that, the soil can be prepared accordingly the reason is. So in our surrounding, the soil can be prepared by means of tilling. That means tilling can be held by the different type of modern and technical tools. These tools are what? As the tractors. These are the modern tractors by which the tilling processes takes place. What is tilling? Tilling is what? The soil are maybe in different larger content. So it could have to be broken down into the smaller pieces. This process is called tilling. That means the soil broken down into smaller pieces. The process by which the soil can be broken down into smaller pieces, which is called as tilling. After tilling, there is, if required, so adding some manures and fertilizer. So there is after the process of tilling, we have to adding some manure and a fertilizer. Why it is required so? Because if there is a soil that are not very fertile, so it has to be produce a lot of what? Grains are not sufficient. Why? Because they cannot produce a lot of what? Grains. So on that regarding, for the production of enough and a lot of grains may be supplied the fertilizers and manure. If the fertilizer and manure today's date is not included, the production of crops cannot sufficient for our daily need or for our needs. So here is second one is called as adding of manure or fertilizers. Adding of manure or fertilizers. By using this, the crops can be found in sufficient amount. Suppose if there is a lackness of manure or fertilizer, there would not have sufficient amount of grains can be grown or produced. Why? Because that particular type of soil cannot have the fertility rate as compared to the others. So for the uniformity, the production of crops may take place, we have to add some of the manure and fertilizers. Got it? So हम ये कह सकते हैं कि एग्रीकल्चरल प्रैक्टिसेस क्यों की जा रही है? एग्रीकल्चरल प्रैक्टिसेस इसलिए की जाती हैं कि कैसे हम क्रॉप को क्या करें, प्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं. तो उसके लिए सबसे पहला स्टेप क्या होता है? इसके अलग अलग स्टेप्स हैं. इसमें पहला स्टेप है प्रिपरेशन ऑफ सॉइल. सॉइल को प्रिपेयर करना. कैसे हम सॉइल को प्रिपेयर करें, तैयार करना. किसके लिए? सोविंग के लिए, या सीड को पहले उसके अंदर क्या करना होता है, स्कैटर करना होता है. उससे पहले हम क्या करेंगे, प्रिपरेशन ऑफ सॉइल करेंगे. अब प्रिपरेशन ऑफ सॉइल करने के बाद क्या करेंगे, उसमें एडिंग करेंगे, मैन्योर ऐड करेंगे, फर्टिलाइजर ऐड करेंगे, जैसी रिक्वायरमेंट हो जिस जगह पे. इससे क्या होगा, प्रोडक्शन रेट बढ़ जाएगा. नेक्स्ट, अगर प्रोडक्शन रेट बढ़ रहा है तो हम क्या कर रहे हैं, मैन्योर का यूज कर रहे हैं. उसके साथ साथ कुछ अदर आपको कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट को भी याद रखना है. वो क्या है, जैसे कि हमने बहुत अच्छा टेलिंग किया और प्रिपरेशन के अंदर टेलिंग कर दिया, एडिंग मैन्योर कर दिया, लेकिन सीड हमने क्या किया, सिलेक्शन नहीं किया. कैसी सीड, जो कि क्या होती है, सिलेक्शन ऑफ सीड डिपेंड करता है कि सीड की क्वालिटी कैसा हो, डिजीज उसमें ना हो, या वो बहुत हेल्दी हो. तभी अगर वो डिजीज फ्री ना हो और हेल्दी ना हो, तो जितना भी हमने पहले इसके मेहनत किया हुआ होता है वो सबके सब क्या होते हैं, बेकार हो जाते हैं. क्योंकि प्रोडक्शन रेट उनका क्या होता है, घट जाता है, कम हो जाएगा. कम होने की वजह से क्या होगा कि जो हमारा सफिशियंट अमाउंट आना चाहिए, या जो हम एक्वायर्ड, हम अपना क्या करते हैं, एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं, उस एक्सपेक्टेशन के तहत हमारे पास वो प्रोडक्शन नहीं आ पाता है. तो हम लोग क्या करेंगे, ऐड करेंगे मैन्योर और फर्टिलाइजर. इसके साथ साथ क्या करेंगे कि याद रखेंगे कि हमें वो सीड लेना है जिससे प्रोडक्शन रेट हमारा क्या हो, हाई हो. तो नेक्स्ट स्टेप है सिलेक्शन ऑफ सीड्स. क्या है, सिलेक्शन ऑफ सीड. हाउ वी कैन सेलेक्ट द सीड if you are going to produce wheat, rice, paddy, groundnut, whatever it is. This is the very important to select such type of a seed which is disease free, healthy, and have the production rate higher. Why? Because nowadays there is a hybrid type of a seed be developed, and it is used now, by which there is a lot of a production, there is a huge amount of a production takes place. Why? Because there is a population of India, you also know about, and the production of crops is higher, so everyone can have the sufficient amount of food now in a proper manner. Why? Because of these such type of seeds found as a advanced and technical form. In that concern, selection of seed maybe takes place. We have to choose in such type of a seed. This seed may be disease free. That means there should be no such type of a seed appears that have the disease inside it, or they could not cutted, or maybe crushed, or weak. So we have to use such type of crops, such type of seed that are having such qualities. In this concern, the government also supplied such type of a seed that are having good quality, and you can find out somewhere else in your neighboring societies as a seed storage center. आप लोगों ने सुना होगा बहुत सारी जगह पे सीड को स्टोर किया जाता है गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से। नेक्स्ट स्टेप हमारा है कि हमने क्या किया, सीड को स्टोर कर लिया। नेक्स्ट स्टेप है सीड ले लिए, जहां पे स्टोर होता है उसका सिलेक्शन कर लिया, बहुत अच्छे सीड जो होते हैं वही प्रोडक्शन जिनका हायर हो। नेक्स्ट स्टेप है कि इनको हम कैसे शो करें, सोविंग ऑफ सीड। सोविंग ऑफ सीड, sowing of seed. Sowing of seed is mean you have to know about the area and the amount of a seed may be used. If there is enough amount used for a very small area, so the production cannot be proper. Why? If there is a large number of many seeds are grown in a smaller zone or a smaller area, they could not have the sufficient nutrient. If they could not have the sufficient nutrient, so it will not be produced accordingly as the production required. That means कि वो इतना प्रोड्यूस नहीं होगा जितना हम चाहते हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि न्यूट्रिएंट नहीं मिलेगा। न्यूट्रिएंट नहीं मिलेगा तो उसके जो प्लांट होंगे वो कैसे हो जाएंगे, वीक हो जाएंगे। जब प्लांट वीक होगा तो उसमें क्या होंगे, वो वीक प्लांट होने की वजह से उनका रेट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन क्या हो जाएगा, कम हो जाएगा, क्योंकि उनको न्यूट्रिशन नहीं मिलेगा, इसलिए प्रोडक्शन उनका कम हो जाएगा। तो हमेशा में ये ध्यान रखना होगा कि हम जब भी सोइंग ऑफ सीड करते हैं तो क्या करेंगे, उसके लिए हमें सबसे पहले ध्यान देना होगा कि उसकी प्रॉपर डिस्टेंस मेंटेन करें। कैसे ये होगा? वाई? बिकॉज चूंकि ये ऐसे होगा कि जब भी हम सोविंग करते हैं तो हमें ध्यान रखना होगा कि हम स्कैटरिंग कैसे कर रहे हैं। स्कैटरिंग, स्प्रेडिंग करना, कैसे हम उसको स्प्रेड करते हैं। Spreading may have the very important, spreading is the very important processes throughout the sowing. Spreading of a proper amount of seed may takes place, and then after required amount of a production can have possible. Next is if we are going to sow the seed, if we are trying to sowing the seed, there is a 2 points. Remember, there must have 2 points. Maybe remember. First is the distance in which the seeds can be grow. If it is grow in a larger distance, there is another problem. The larger distance, that means the number of plants is lower, and if there is a number of a plant is lower, so that means there is a production rate also slides. That means कि अगर हम क्या करें कि अगर हम बहुत दूर दूर सीड को क्या करते हैं, स्कैटर कर देते हैं, स्कैटर करेंगे तो क्या होगा, या हम स्प्रेड करें तब भी हमारा प्रोडक्शन रेट क्या हो जाएगा, बहुत कम हो जाएगा. होगा तो प्लांट बहुत हेल्दी, लेकिन बहुत दूर दूर होने की वजह से जो प्रोडक्शन होगा वो हमारा नहीं हो पाएगा जितना हमें रिक्वायर्ड है. तो हम क्या करेंगे, उसके लिए एक प्रॉपर मैनर याद रखते हैं कि बहुत ज्यादा नजदीक भी ना हो, बहुत ज्यादा दूरी भी ना हो, और जब नजदीक और दूर नहीं होंगे तो हमारा प्रोडक्शन रेट अच्छा होगा. तो ये था सोविंग ऑफ सीड. अच्छा, नेक्स्ट अब इसके बाद हम अगली वीडियो में पढ़ेंगे कि हमारा जो प्रोसेस है किसका, एग्रीकल्चरल प्रैक्टिसेस का, उसमें नेक्स्ट स्टेप क्या होगा. थैंक यू.